Hello and welcome back to the Ultimate Survival World. I know it's been a while, but I had some really exciting things happening in real life and it took up a lot of time. But things have calmed down now, so I'll be able to record again. So without any further ado, let's get back into the Nether, because we have a lot to explore. So thank you for watching, and let's get into this. Alright, so last time the episode kinda ended with me running away from a ghast, and I forgot about this. So coming through the portal, I was once again faced with one of them, and rude as they are, it started throwing bombs at me. Now, I've actually never successfully sent one of their bombs back at them. So yeah, this was gonna be my first attempt, and let's just say it didn't go well. So I decided that the only way to deal with this was gonna have to be to fight ranged with ranged. And I knew exactly where to go for a strong bow and a lot of arrows. Because obviously I was gonna be missing some shots. And now it was time for Dancer and I to take to the wilds again. So enjoy this little... poor Dancer. Enjoy this little travel montage. And here we are at the destination. Now I'm sure those of you who have seen some of my previous episodes, you remember what is here. There's a very interesting couple of totems that will be able to help me with my nether problem. Actually, I shouldn't say nether problem, I should say ghast problem. Of course, I can't help myself. I must just make double sure that I've checked every lootable chest. And here we are. See, what did I tell you? Lots and lots of arrows. I'm surprised the villagers haven't triggered the trap and made all of the arrows despawn. But this was very, very good for me. Especially since you can't really find flint in this world. I've dug and dug for gravel and I just couldn't find. Now I got to figure out exactly which pressure plate is the one that triggers the traps. And it's this one. Next up, we stop by the chief's tent because I need to buy Tala's bow. This will help me in my quest to defeat the ghasts. And now we get to go back to the nether. Of course, as some of you know by now, I don't like traveling at night, so I'm just gonna spend the night here in this little village. In Oscar's hut. It's become my favorite place to stay. And just like that, I am ready. Ready to fight the ghosts and show them who's boss. I have a strong bow and lots of arrows, which means lots of room for error. As I came out of the portal, I was looking for a fight already, but it seems that this particular ghast has caught wind of my plans and bailed. So I had to go and find another one that wanted to mess with me. You have to admire the menacing appearance of this blaze. Yeah, so that is a lot of lava down there, and honestly, I'm always so nervous when bridging, especially one block, but I figured, you know, as long as I crouch while I build the bridge, I should be fine. So yeah, I actually figured out that blocks might be a problem here depending on how big the bridge was. Because I actually didn't have an idea of how much I'd need. So I just kind of hoped that I had enough. You can see all of the broken cages. If I remember correctly from the Steph Block's channel story, the demons broke out of the cages. They were all captured, and at some point they broke out. So I don't remember exactly how many demons there were, but I'd have to rewatch the video to find the lore behind this. Let's just say that all of that lava is insanely intimidating. And then I heard that guy. Now, considering my blocks are limited, I did not want it blowing up my little bridge, so I had to run back every time I heard one. And so the target practice begins. Obviously, I haven't played in a while, and aiming this bow has been really difficult, especially considering how much the boss moves, and it despawned. And I stepped in fire. That was a bit annoying, but at least it's gone and I can continue building the bridge. And of course this guy has to come and stand on the very edge. Now I already know what he's up to. He's trying to push me off. He looks friendly, but he has nefarious plans, and I decided that I was going to give him a taste of his own medicine, because this is my bridge. I built it. That would have been my fate if I had not been so smart. And another ghast showed up. So the size of the ghasts make it a little bit more difficult to aim because I can't actually tell how close they are yet. Love the floating islands with the different orbed forests. The blue one and the red one. I think it's a very nice take on it. And I also know where to come and farm ender pearls, because there are a lot of endermen up there in the warped forest. Some more target practice. Obviously I'm missing everything. And one shot. I have to say, I didn't think it would die that easily. I thought ghasts would be more tanky. I was really starting to doubt that I had enough blocks for this, because it looked like there was still a lot of bridge to build. here we are at the next section. And of course you can see the start of the Nether Fortress. Now this thing is an imposing building, especially for someone with a knack for getting lost like myself. I looked at this and I just hoped that there weren't too many rooms and that they didn't all look the same, because that would be a nightmare for me. And my enemies return. I was going to kill this one, I just knew it. I didn't expect to get my return to sender. I've actually never gotten that achievement before, so I felt pretty chuffed with myself. I was very confused for a second because I really thought that the ghost all the way up there was too far away to actually throw these fireballs at me. Turns out one came from below. Even the little piglin was mad at him, but obviously he can't do anything about it. But yeah, that is the first time I got my return to sender achievement from actually successfully sending a fireball back at a ghost. And what's hilarious is that it wasn't even intentional. I was trying to shoot the ghost and I shot the fireball instead. But I'll take it. An achievement's an achievement. And we enter the Nether Fortress. Now this place was huge. The scale of building is insane. Like, I'm not even sure how many floors this would be. My first thought was that these chests might be trapped, but I figured if they're trapped I could probably tank what comes out of it. And it turns out they were perfectly fine. So I found this journal of King Techno, but obviously him being King Techno, I can't read what it says. So I just put it back. Now normally I consider finding ancient debris like this to be a little bit overpowered, because normally you have to do a lot of mining in order to get it, but after everything I went through to actually get to this point, I felt like I deserved the loot that I got. I mean, bridging and fighting ghosts and stuff, it's not exactly easy for someone like me. Besides, I have full netherite gear already, so any netherite I get now is a bonus. And will probably be used for repairs. Obviously I don't really need all of this loot, but just in case, I collect it anyway. But this is what I was after. You need a lot of nether wart for alchemy and brewing. Also just needed a little bit of soul sand. I wasn't gonna take all of it obviously, because I still wanted to replant some of the nether wart. The faces in the soul sand has always just creeped me out a little bit. They look slightly tortured. And that's it. Sustainable nether warp farming. I didn't bother with the chests that were that high up because I figured whatever's in there I probably don't need it. Then I heard villagers, and lo and behold, they're hanging from cages on the ceilings. Now, I couldn't really figure out what the purpose of this would be. Like, why? How would they get there? Who would put them there? But then I remembered the Steph Block story about the witches and the nether portal, and I figured that the invaders from the nether probably captured the villagers that lived close by to study them or something. I don't know. But that's probably why the villagers are up there. Now these spawners. These are also something that I came for, but I was a bit nervous about. Because I wanted to get the magma slime blocks and blaze rods. But obviously I'm not a master at combat, so this was definitely gonna be interesting. And I was probably gonna die. I might have just underestimated my armor a little bit. So the slimes aren't actually that difficult to fight. It's more the blazes that are a pain. But I do have a nice bow now, so that made things a bit easier. It's also really great for XP, and there's another villager in a cage. And another nether wart farm. So an interesting theme you'll see is every time the wither skeletons spawn in a room, I run the other way. That's because I do not like the wither effect. I don't think anyone does. But I just like it a lot less than some people. And I hear the blazes, so I knew I had to just watch out for those, so I didn't want to be set on fire. And it came through the wall. Thankfully I had my nifty bow to help me deal with them. These slimes kept taking the arrows for the blazes, like some kind of heroic friendship exists between them. I never knew that blazes could actually travel through walls. I know that ghosts can, I didn't think blazes could. So here we have a little farming montage. I was farming, obviously, like I said, magma slime and blaze rods as well at some point. So it's very tedious, so I just sped it up a little bit. The experience was also nice, so it means I could do some enchanting. sudden I found myself slightly overwhelmed and on fire constantly. So I just made a little run for it. And lunch break. I also went outside just to see where the villager grunts were coming from. Turns out that they're positioned right outside the exit. Not sure why, if it's meant as intimidation or trophies or something. But just look at the scale of this place. The reason that it takes a while for the environment to render is I'm on not a great PC. So I have to turn down the render distance, which means that things that are far away take a lot longer to render. And I have to be a certain distance from it for it to show up. So I do apologize if it's a little bit annoying, but some sacrifices have to be made when you're not on a great PC. Constant whining of the ghasts is intimidating. So I did encounter, I think, 2 wither skeletons, and I discovered that I can actually one-shot them. So that was good to know. And after killing that wither skeleton, I wasn't even scared of this blaze. I kept coming back to farm because I kept thinking maybe the amount of resources that I got wasn't enough yet. But after that one blaze, I decided that I've farmed enough and I started heading out. I couldn't find my way back down earlier, so I was just gonna try and make my way down from the outside, because inside I just get lost all the time. These braziers are quite impressive. I was really glad I did come outside and walk around the fortress, because turns out that there's a lot of little hidden chests everywhere. Stupid ghasts. It's nerve-wracking when you can't see them, but you can hear them like right next to you. So I gathered some netherrack just as building blocks in case I needed to tower my way down. I always wonder how the sounds of the ghasts were made. It's a very curious noise. Now here I forgot a little fact about the piglins. They don't like when you open chests next to them. I forgot this in the moment, so I was very confused as to why this guy was mad at me. Because they've been fine with me the whole time. I even checked my armor and I was wearing gold. And then I realized it's probably just because I looted in front of them. They turn hostile the moment you steal from them, I think. Anywho, back to trying to get out of this place. You have to admire the amount of detail that Trixie has put into his work. Let's face it, the amount of time that went into this world is just insane. Funny fact, I've had fire resistance potions this whole time, and I completely forgot about them. So that's kind of funny. I probably should have used them while fighting the blazes. But it's fine. I survived, thanks to my epic armor that I got from the Pharaoh's treasure. Now I'm trying to figure out if the jump is worth it. Yep, I'm fine. Just broke my ankles. And back over the bridge we go. Those giant demonic looking skeletons are quite impressive. I wonder what makes these islands float. Like, what would the explanation be behind that? Some sort of magnetic phenomenon or something. Or just magic, because it's the underworld, so anything's possible. Gosh, those cages are big. And horribly broken. That one up there is just opened though, so someone opened it for the demon. Like how you have red on the one side and green on the other. And then we go back to the crying demon who's holding up the entrance. I do wonder what this statue is sad about. I mean, his brethren escaped, so isn't that something to be happy about? Or does he know the havoc that they will wreak on the world? I don't know. But before I wanted to go back, I actually wanted to trade with some piglins, see what I could get. I did bring a whole stack of gold, so yeah, why not? And like that, negotiations began. And in the middle of my trading, one of these guys showed up. Again. I was getting quite ticked off with them because they are just the rudest of entities. And after sending him back to where he belongs, the trading resumed. I also put out the fires because why not? Time to go back home, and I can't say that I wasn't relieved to get out of here. There's just something about seeing the green landscape and the sunlight that is very reassuring compared to the red and yellow in the nether. Kind of just feels like doom. Of course, I need my little map, because if I didn't use it, I'd probably just end up spending a lot more time traveling than I need to. Thankfully, my home isn't really that far away from the nether portal. And there she is, isn't it glorious? There's something that I spotted on the ocean that I'm pretty sure wasn't there before. Those sails sticking out of the water. I definitely want to go and investigate. It's just not right now. It has been a very long trip to the nether. So yeah, here I just stopped for a moment to admire my home. And now I can finally relax a little bit. See, I already have my brewing stand. I actually bought it from the alchemist in the village, the one in the cart. And here I made my own little nether wart farm. You know, just in case I need some more. I even went the extra mile and put little soul lanterns in. I don't actually know if that will inhibit the growth, but we'll see. We'll end part 17 here for today. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like or a comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.